Hello everyone, welcome to Low Budget Otaku, and today I'm bringing you the Figma Gilgamesh Bootleg. Now in my unboxing I actually did a mistake because I said this guy was from Fate Stay Night, but he's not, he's from Fate Grand Order. Now you're wondering, what is the difference? That is a good fucking question. From Fate Stay Night to Fate Stay Night, Unlimited Blade Works the movie, to another movie, to Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works the series, to Fate Zero, and it's amazing, actually, amazing. To Fate Stay Night, whatever this is, whatever that is, whatever that also is, a lot of fate. And apparently Gilgamesh here is a character that is reoccurring in different Fate series and is an amazing character, an amazing villain. And though let's face it, this series kind of treats its historical heroes in a strange way. Is that really supposed to be King Arthur, Alexander the Great, and Frankenstein? Wait, Frankenstein? It's next waifu material. So without further delay, let's start looking at our figure. Now the sculpting on this figure is amazing, and I was very much afraid that it would suffer because being a bootleg, meaning a FAKEma. But actually no, I didn't see any paint, at least not major paint issue with the figure so far. And of course you have two different modes of this figure, one with the armor and one without the armor, making it such a bang for the buck figure considering all the accessories and little details you get with the figure. But let's get into what my figure actually brought. So actually this one didn't bring a box like Saitama, but I could have gotten it with the box, but I decided it was not worth it. Now this brings the Noble Phantasm weapon that is very beautiful, great detail, all of these parts rotate. The paint is almost immaculate, I see no major issue with it. The handle comes up, so you can put inside the hand. So great accessory, and for now perfectly perfect. You actually bring this extra torso for the other mode. These little crossed arms, a little bit like Saitama has, so you can make his, you know, almighty and cocky pose. They're very easy to put in and take out, much easier than actually Saitama's. Then we actually have this chain weapon that is very similar to the style of weapon that Ram has. Overall they look very good. So now let's take a look at his hands. So we have a bunch of hands that for both modes. So the armored fists that look very good, very well painted. Then we have the two naked fists for the when he's without his armor, and we have always the same hands for both modes. Okay, looking gorgeous. Then we have these open pose hands, again for the armor and again for the naked torso. Then we have two grabby hands with the armor, and again two grabby hands for the naked torso. All of the hands are very well sculpted, no issue at all. Then we have this special pose hand for the left or right hand, I think. Yeah, it was left hand. This is for the right hand, that is to hold the chain. Now for his faces, we have this little smug looking face We have that smirk, smiley, evil smile of his. And then of course we have him yelling. Yes, this character is kind of a smug prick. Now, putting the face on is very easy. So we have the front of the hair and the back of the hair, both in the armored and the normal torso, and you just pop off the front of the hair, put the face that you want, and then put the hair back again. Very easy. And we can do the same for the other. Now, but before we do that, let's look at our stand. So it is the classic Figma stand. All of them come with the same stand. And then again, let's put a face on this guy because it's a little bit creepy without a face. And there, yes, Mr. Smugness. So let's also show you how to exchange the arms. So first of all, the arms pop off very easily because this figure has very loose joints on some of his major articulations. A little drawback. So now that we removed the hinge on the elbow, we can put in the first shoulder and do the same thing for the second arm. So again, remove that elbow. And there we go. Then just connect those ball pegs on the shoulder, and there you go. You have your little crossed arms. It is very easy to do, but unfortunately, again, some things pop up very easily because some things are a bit loose on this figure, especially in the legs, but also on these arms. But again, posing this guy on a shelf looks amazing, looks almost perfect. It looks actually much better than the pictures that I'd seen online from it, so I was pleasantly surprised. So now let's look at the other mode. First we need to remove the torso. Okay, so this one is a little bit trickier, but again, it comes off. It has this little piece that I was not sure if I should use with it or not, so I was a little bit in a trial and error mode to connect the ball hinge that you have on the bottom with the figure, and in the end again some connections popping off. Now it was the leg. The legs, again, be careful because they're very loose. And the figure has some problems standing up on their own, at least not with the legs close together. When you actually... So I decided to put in that little part. I'm not really sure it should be there. You can put it with or without it. I think it looks better with that little part because I feel it should be part of the belt and not actually the torso. But I may be wrong on that. But overall, yeah. Again, the articulations on the torso in this mode are actually better than the armored mode because probably they are not as heavy. It also holds the sword much better in this mode than the other mode because again the shoulder articulations are much stronger, much more reliable. But hey, it is what it is. So let's take a look. See, when you want to put this huge sword on his hand, this is the way to do it. So with this arm you can actually hold it and you can actually pose it relatively easy. When you put it in the other arm with the armor, unfortunately that just doesn't happen. See, that shoulder does not have enough strength to hold the sword with just one arm, so it will limit a bit the poses that you can do with that sword in the armored mode. So you're probably thinking, what about his articulation? So this is basically the classic Figma joint that they use for the hand. It's basically a ball hinge with a ball peg. It's very strange actually. Let's actually look under the hood. So there you go. There, you see that ball hinge there with the ball peg on the hair. So it's a very strange mechanism. But they use it in most of their figure except for Saitama. Saitama did not have this mechanism, but Ram does have. Then you have, I think it is a normal peg with a ball in the neck. Then we have again this strange mechanism for I think it's just a ball hinge for the shoulder, allows some spice of swivel. Then we have a hinge for the elbow and a ball hinge for the hands. Now for the torso, I think we have a ball hinge or a ball peg in the torso. I think it is ball hinge, not a ball peg. And then we have a ball hinge also on the waist that you actually can very easily see when you swap. Then you have this little ball peg that's always coming off in the front. In the back we have this hinge and hinge. So 3 hinges that allow this skirt to come out of the way. You have small ball hinges for each of those guards. And then for the legs can be a little bit complicated. Let me just... oh my god. Yeah, so it allows a decent spread with those... I think it's 2 ball pegs that connect very loosely to the legs. So yeah, see, very wobbly, very not the greatest. So this is the part where you can see that it is a bootleg. So it does, you know, swivel, but not very sturdy. Then it allows this 90-degree bend in the knee with the hinge. And then we have a ball hinge in the feet, can pivot, and actually a working toe bend. So yeah, unlike Saitama, this toe bends very easily. So overall, the articulation is actually great, but those loose pegs kind of kill me, and it only becomes worse when we go look at the other torso. So the other torso, let me put back, and again a leg falling off, because again those ball pegs there are very loose. So then we'll look at his head, and it is basically the same joint, but the neck itself is not moving, so I'm not sure if it is. Then we have actually a double, I think it is a weird joint that is a hinge, a ball hinge with a ball peg that connects to the shoulder, so it does not allow us the shoulder to completely come up, just rotates over the shoulder. You have a bicep swivel, you have your ball, you have your hinge in the elbow, no torso articulation, it's just waist. It is much more limited. So let's look at his size. Revoltech Gurren Lagann EVA 00 High Grade Model Kit Nekadante Figma Ram Mega House Gintoki Tifa Lockhart. It's hard to access this figure because it looks amazing, beautiful sculpting, beautiful painting, but unfortunately because it is a Fakema, the joints are not the best. Still, this figure, now original, is extremely expensive, and for the price of maybe around 20 to 25 euros, this is not a bad alternative, because after you pose it with the help of the stand, it will look amazing in your collection. So I hope the review helped, and I hope you guys can leave a like, subscribe, hit that notification button, it will really help out the channel. Next week I'm actually going to Comic-Con Portugal, and I'm going to buy some figures there. I'm going to have a blast and probably bring a lot of cosplay videos to edit into a music video, so I hope you guys tune in for that.
I don't want to live this way. I really wish we never knew. Out of sight and out of mind. I don't want to be with you. But the next time I saw your face, nothing I can do. I just have to face the truth.
Just do
All I
it.
want is